We've been thinking a long time about the Tudor Trilogy. As far back as 2000, even 1999, we were considering the idea of doing all three of the operas and having a sort of unified cast that would go through all three pieces. But we do have the same director and the same production that has been sort of evolving from show to show. And it's been a great hit for us. Our audience really likes it. Back in 2000, we created a new artistic philosophy based on both the philosophy of bel canto singing, but also the idea that each year we would feature a bel canto opera. And the Tudor Trilogy was kind of the center of that. Now, it took us a while to get around to doing it. We didn't really start seriously programming it until 2007. But it's been a huge success for us. And this production has gone around now to Montreal. Houston Grand Opera's also done Mary Stuart. So it's been both an artistic triumph for us, a cost-effective production because we use essentially the same opera for three operas, and it's been a real treat for our audience. Interestingly enough, we didn't go chronologically in the telling of the story. In fact, we are going backwards in time, and Anne Boleyn is the first story. Roberta Devereux is the last one. But we, in fact, did Roberta Devereux first, which showed Queen Elizabeth at the end. And now we're showing how Queen Elizabeth got started and all the things that really affected her life and why she made some of the choices she made, like killing her cousin and destroying one of her lovers. You know, we all see why now at the beginning with Anne Boleyn. A couple of years ago, actually about 3 years ago, we heard a young American singer who was making a transition from mezzo-soprano to soprano, and her name was Carrie Alcama. And we were looking for a young, vibrant singer who could sing in this style, which is difficult, and who had the stamina, really, to sing Anna Bolena, because it's a real tour de force role. It's not unlike Norma. It's not unlike Roberta Devereux, that Queen Elizabeth and Mary Stuart. It's a real signature role. It's all about stamina, to be perfectly honest.
Hi, I'm Carrie Alcama, and I'll be singing the role of Anna Bolena here with Minnesota Opera, and I'm absolutely thrilled to do so. It's huge. It's a huge undertaking, and I'm grateful that they trusted this amazing role to me. My favorite thing about bel canto is the lines, is the way you can shape the words and the emotions within that line. You have freedom to sing outside of the box, which I love, especially with conductors that let you do that. You can push the envelope a little bit with that. Well, let me say first off that I've always loved the history of this period for a very long time. I think I've read any book that has come out, watched any TV series, movie. I've always loved it. So the idea of actually being able to play Anna Bolena was just a thrill in itself. And then I looked at the music and had a heart attack. What I think is so relevant is just the drama, is the emotions, is the love, is the passion, is the forgiveness, it's the deceit, it's the betrayal. It's the hunger for power, and then getting the power and realizing this really isn't where I want to be or what I wanted for my life, I think. And that relates throughout time, I think. I mean, that happens today. We see it on reality television all the time. So why not? Why not have this? What I think is so exciting about doing these all over the world is the productions, the ideas, how they change, how she's portrayed in those productions. Is it going to be a period production? Is it going to be out of period production? Because I think you could do that. You could take it out of its period. That's what I love about it.
Kyle Kettleson has the sexiest voice, I have to say. It's sexy and beautiful and big. And when we think of Henry VIII, we don't think normally of sexy, you know, because our images of him are of this sort of gross, fat man, huge. I mean, he was very tall in real life, and but I think the Tudors on TV have also taught a contemporary audience that at one time Henry VIII was a young man and a very vital man who appealed to women. And he had a voracious appetite for women. So hiring Kyle made perfect sense to us. First of all, the voice is gorgeous, and he's one of those guys that has a gorgeous voice that's big, that can move quickly, and those are the kinds of things that Enrico or Henry VIII needs as well. And then physically, you can see with him why women want him. So I think it's a double bonus for us as well. Plus he's a real pleasure to work with and really fun, and our audience loves him.
I'm Kyle Kettleson. I'll be playing Enrico in Anna Bolena. He has the ultimate wandering eye. You know, he's I suppose you could call him capricious, to say the least. 6 wives, and you know, I think I'm not sure if there have been any studies done on the remnants of his brain, but if there's anything left. But there's got to be some sort of dysfunction going on. Although I guess it is the archetypal or the stereotypical male, you know, the caveman kind of mentality where just all you can do is focus on what's in front of you, and then something else grabs your attention, and for him it's wives. And it's funny because he sees no blame in himself. Well, he's a man, he should naturally be doing this, whereas with Anna Bolena, how dare she have a lover? How dare she, you know, have someone other than me? I'm the king, come on. So it's fun playing him because he's just, I mean, so cuckoo. That's how I see him anyway. But it's fun to be bad. Too many times, too many roles, I'm kind of the good guy, and so it's nice to be he's not a Snidely Whiplash kind of villain, but he'll do. I'm always happy to be here in Minnesota Opera. It's truly one of the top regional houses, and it can compete with many of the top level houses that I worked in. They're not afraid to do interesting works. It's not just about rolling out the war horses and filling seats. It's a unique area in that it's such a nurturing environment for the arts, and there's an audience for the new and interesting things, the new and different out-of-the-ordinary productions that are done here. There's an audience for it, and a very supportive audience, a knowing audience. And so for that reason, this town is unique. The community is, it speaks to me more than say being in a bigger city like New York or London or Tokyo or whatever. Because being from the Midwest, it just, feels like home.